Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that affects almost everyone who travels to, from, or through Canada. Border security. You might think of the Canadian border as one of the friendliest in the world, and in many ways, it is. But big changes are on the horizon for 2025, and they're set to completely modernize how people and goods cross into the country. Whether you're a frequent traveler, a business owner who imports goods, or just curious about national security, this is something you'll want to know about. So, stick around as we unpack what's happening, why it's happening, and what it means for you. First, let's set the stage. What's driving this massive overhaul? The Canadian government has been planning these updates for years, under an initiative often referred to as the Canada Border Services Agency, or CBSA, Assessment and Revenue Management Project, better known as CARM. But it's not just about collecting duties and taxes. The world has changed. Global supply chains are more complex than ever. International travel is bouncing back with a vengeance, post-pandemic, and security threats are constantly evolving. The old systems, some of which are decades old, are struggling to keep up. They're slow, often paper-based, and can create bottlenecks at ports of entry. The goal for 2025 is to bring Canada's borders into the 21st century, making them smarter, faster, and more secure. Think less paperwork and more data-driven digital processes. So, what are the key changes we can expect? The biggest shift is the move towards a fully digital-first approach. For travelers, this will likely mean more reliance on biometric technology. We're talking about things like facial recognition and digital fingerprints. Many of you have already experienced this at major airports with the automated kiosks. But expect this technology to become more widespread and sophisticated. The idea is to speed up processing for low-risk travelers, allowing border officers to focus their attention on higher-risk individuals and situations. This doesn't mean a robot is replacing your friendly border agent, but it does mean the initial screening process will become much more automated. Another major component is the expansion of pre-clearance operations. This allows travelers to clear Canadian customs and immigration while still in another country, like the United States. When your flight lands in Canada, you can just grab your bags and go, as if you were on a domestic flight. This is a huge time saver and helps to reduce congestion at Canadian airports. The government is actively working to expand these pre-clearance locations, making travel smoother for millions. But the changes aren't just for people. In fact, one of the most significant parts of the 2025 initiative is focused on commercial goods. This is the CARM project I mentioned earlier. Historically, importers and customs brokers have dealt with a complex, often confusing system for declaring goods and paying duties and taxes. CARM is designed to streamline all of that. It's a self-service online portal that gives businesses direct access to their import records. Now, let's talk about the why behind all of this. It boils down to two main goals: economic prosperity and national security. On the economic front, a slow border is a costly border. Every minute a truck spends waiting in line or a shipment is delayed in customs, it costs money. These costs eventually get passed down to consumers. By speeding up the flow of legitimate trade and travel, the government hopes to make Canada a more attractive place to do business and visit. A more efficient border can boost tourism, streamline supply chains, and make Canadian businesses more competitive on the global stage. From a security perspective, the new systems are all about using data more effectively. Advanced analytics and artificial intelligence can help the CBSA identify patterns and anomalies that might indicate smuggling, trafficking, or other illegal activities. By automating the screening of low-risk goods and people, officers can dedicate their expertise and intuition to the shipments and travelers that actually warrant a closer look. It's about working smarter, not just harder, to keep the border secure. This data-driven approach also helps in collaborating with international partners, sharing information to stop threats before they even reach the Canadian border. So, how will all of this impact the average person? If you're a casual traveler, you'll likely notice a smoother and faster experience at the airport or land crossing. The Arrive CN app, which became mandatory during the pandemic, gave us a preview of this digital-first approach. While its mandatory use has ended, the infrastructure it helped build is part of this larger digital shift. You can expect to use apps and kiosks more frequently to make your declarations before you even speak to an officer. Your face might be your new passport at automated gates. It's all designed to reduce wait times and get you on your way faster. For businesses, especially importers, the impact is much more direct. The transition to CARM requires proactive steps. Businesses must get registered, understand the new payment and bonding requirements, and train their staff on the new portal. While it's an adjustment, the long-term benefits are clear. More control, better visibility into their import activities, and a more predictable process. It levels the playing field and modernizes trade. Of course, no major technology rollout is without its challenges and concerns. One of the biggest concerns is privacy. As more biometric data is collected and stored, questions about how that data is protected and used are incredibly important. The Canadian government and the CBSA have stated they are committed to upholding privacy laws and have safeguards in place. But this will be an area that privacy advocates and the public will be watching very closely. There's also the question of accessibility. What about individuals who aren't tech-savvy or don't have access to a smartphone? The CBSA has said that alternative options will always be available, but the primary push is towards digital. Ensuring that no one is left behind or unfairly inconvenienced by this digital transformation is a critical challenge. For businesses, the transition period can be tricky. There's a learning curve, and any glitches or system downtime could have significant financial implications. The CBSA has delayed the full implementation of CIR before to give businesses more time to prepare, which highlights just how complex this transition is. Looking ahead, the 2025 border modernization is just one step in an ongoing evolution. Technology will continue to advance, and so will the methods used by those who seek to undermine border security. We can probably expect to see even more integration of artificial intelligence for risk assessment, the use of blockchain for supply chain security, and more sophisticated scanning technology that can detect contraband without even having to open a container. The smart border of the future will be a connected, data-rich environment. It will be a border that is less about physical lines and more about digital verification. The long-term vision is a seamless, secure, and touchless border experience for the vast majority of legitimate travelers and goods, creating a more secure and prosperous Canada. It's a bold vision, and 2025 is a major milestone on that journey. So, to wrap it all up, the changes coming to Canada's borders in 2025 are significant. We're talking about a major digital transformation powered by new technologies, with the goal of making the border faster, smarter, and safer. For travelers, it means a more streamlined, automated experience. For businesses, it means a new digital portal CARM that will change how they manage imports. While there are legitimate concerns around privacy and implementation, the goal is to enhance both economic efficiency and national security. It's a massive undertaking that will redefine how Canada interacts with the world. What are your thoughts on these upcoming changes? Are you excited about a faster border experience, or do you have concerns about privacy? Let me know down in the comments. I'm really curious to hear your perspective. Thanks so much for watching, and if you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more deep dives into topics like this. See you in the next one.